And unmute me. There we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to DNA Trivia. DNA Bar Trivia, that is, where Dean and Allison get together to share bar trivia based on some of the great books that I have in my bartender library. This book is one of them. This is Great Northern Cocktails. I know all you friends in America are like, Great Northern Cocktails? What do you mean? There's something above the border? Yeah, it's called Canada. And this is a book designed or written by Shawn Soole, who's a dear friend of mine. Helps me a lot with these channels and helps me get rolling and get online with YouTube and such. And all of the questions today are based on Shawn's book, Great Northern Cocktails. It's a great read, has some great bartending tips inside. And then as you go through, it actually introduces you to some of the fabulous bartenders across Canada. And in fact, I'm kind of lying when I say some of the bartenders. Many of the bartenders across Canada. In every single state, or every single province across Canada, he's covered some of the best bartenders and bars. So if you're traveling across Canada, this is an absolute essential cocktail book. If you're traveling anywhere in Canada, you need this to catch up to the bartenders in town and find the right guys and girls making cocktails for you. All right, I would like to introduce you to our co-host, or my fellow host. Please put your hands together for Allison.
Hello.
There she is. You're looking great tonight, Allison.
Thank you.
I love your backdrop. What bar is that? It's the Envato bar.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Allison's been playing with some green screen bars and stuff.
It's actually Allison's Bar and Grill, because when I was little, that's what I wanted to do when I grew up, was I wanted to own a bar and grill. And
there you go.
My mother told all her friends and they all laughed at me. But guess what? There it is.
Here it is. We can make that happen, you know.
Yeah.
All right, Laura Smith's here. All right. Allison, I'm going to make us a cocktail while we wait for some more of our friends to join us. Laura, thanks for jumping in early. All right. Yeah, we're going to make some cocktails right here. In fact, I just did an excellent show with Casey Wallen from Arizona. And he actually made me buy some rosé, some sparkling rosé. And I know Allison loves the bubbles.
I do.
She loves everything that sparkles. You should see her with a bedazzler. It's totally out of control. All right. So I'm going to start off actually with 1 ounce of Aperol. I'm going to split this cocktail, so that would be half an ounce per cocktail. And half an ounce of Guava Real. Very good. So a little aperitif, which is going to dry the palate and whatnot. We heard that from Casey Wallen tonight. Just going to stir those together a little bit. I actually want to ice those up. Getting a little dilution on them. I also want to chill them down a little bit. Shawn Soole is here, actually. Huh? Oh, look at that. Word doesn't travel too fast, does it? He just heard. He's been watching live on the internet that we are covering his book tonight. Fabulous. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Soole. Here we go. You know, I just can't have that ice cube in there. There we go. We had yet another slight technical difficulty pulling into the show today, and Allison had to redo all the screens and stuff. So here we go. I've got the Aperol and Guava in some old champagne coupes here. And we'll top these up with some sparkling rosé. So the Guava is going to sweeten the rosé. And the Aperol is going to go in and dry it out just over and over again. So here we go. Sean Finter's joining us. Oh, my Lord. We've got the two Seans with us today. You guys must be calling each other. Did you wear the same jackets as well? All right. So we'll have you guys competing against each other, perhaps. All right. Allison's struggling with our software today. And Vicky's joining us. So, a little orange zest expressed right over the top of that. Now, let's get this much needed cocktail over to Allison. There you go.
Thank you.
The green screen's broken. All right, we are back. Smiling.
Someone's talking sweet to you.
Uh-oh. John Moore. Hey, buddy. There we go. All right, guys. We are ready. We have our cocktails in hand. I hope you have a cocktail in your hand. If you have Shawn Soole's Great Northern Cocktails, then you will have an advance notice of all these questions. Vicky, I hope you're ready to go.
She's laughing at us.
Yeah. We're just having fun out here, guys. We're trying to figure this thing out. The only way to learn how to go live on YouTube is to go live on YouTube. So it's the Wild West out here. We're trying to figure it out. Very good. Thank you very much to Allison, but let's play. Here's question number 1. Feel free to drop your answers in, and if you've just joined us and haven't watched the show before, Shawn Finter, put the word final before or after your answer if you know that that's the absolute truth, and then we're going to go straight to the answer as soon as you put a final on there. But please give other people a chance to throw in some questions or throw in some different answers and whatnot. All right, so don't hog the show if you know all the answers. We're just trying to have some fun, trying to get our minds off of what's going on in the world right now. Here's Casey Wallen dropping some much love. Thanks for having me, buddy. Casey Wallen was an absolutely amazing guest on Behind the Glass with Dean Serneels. Started at 9 o'clock tonight, and you'll get to see him on our Wednesday show, Beyond the Glass, or One Drink with Casey Wallen. So join us on Wednesday for that. You'll see some more. All right, here we go. Question number 1. Bitters are created using high-proof alcohol or this item. Bitters are created using high-proof alcohol or glycerol, aperitifs, aromatics, or low-proof spirits. All right, drop your answers in the comments, and let's have some fun, guys.
Pardon me while I get a better looking backdrop.
Allison's going to be working the backdrop and bringing your comments in. She's the best producer I've ever had, if not the only producer I've ever had.
I'm the only one you've ever had. I'm sure an actual producer might not have all these little issues.
You're doing great. Rob Husted says A is the answer.
You get what you pay for.
Oh, right.
All right.
Shawn Soole says
Shawn
A.
says A.
I don't know if Shawn's allowed to answer questions. He wrote the freaking book.
He can answer if he wants.
I guess
he
he
didn't
can.
say final. He just guessed.
Oh, right. I'm sure he's read the book, don't you think? All right, Laura Smith comes with a final answer.
There's Laura.
Is Shawn Finter still out there? Did he disappear on us? Did he just stop in to say hello? I must have nudged your feed.
Okay. One moment, I'm getting the correct.
Rob Husted's playing a little Canada with us. He says that the answer is A. I don't know if you know this, but do you know how to spell Canada? C-A-N-A-D-A.
Oh, I would have answered that question. I didn't know who you were asking though.
Right, I was just throwing it out there.
Because I learned it from you all.
Let's see if Shawn gets it right.
I'd say.
John Moore's like, I'm following Shawn's lead. Here we go. All right, let's see what the answer is. There it is, glycerol.
A.
A is glycerol. Well done, guys. Very good.
Very good.
Oh, look at this. My drink is the same color as the drink on the book.
It sure
You can hardly tell.
Oh, look at that. It's beautiful.
I did that on purpose, you know.
You're so clever. clever.
Thank you very much, sweetie. Oh, look at that. It's still there.
Oh, I gotta scoot over. Woo! All right. Question number 2. Without this, the cocktail does not exist. Ice, alcohol, a modifier, or a glass?
Ice, alcohol, modifier, a glass.
Without this, the cocktail does not exist. Is it ice? Is it alcohol, a modifier, or a glass?
Oh, crickets out
Kind of
there.
some of those. Like, it could be more than one. It could be ice. But, well, I guess, no, that's not true. Some cocktails don't have ice. But a glass,
Is that true?
you can't drink a cocktail without a glass.
Well, according to his book, though, the question was, how was the question worded again?
It says,
Without this, the cocktail does not exist.
without this, it doesn't exist.
Ah, everybody's all over the place. I love it.
Tricky wording, too.
Yeah, tricky
Laura said
Ricky.
D, Casey said B, John said B and D. Casey said
You can have a cocktail without alcohol. You can have a non-alcoholic cocktail for sure. You can also have a cocktail without the modifier,
right.
right? Just vodka and orange juice.
But
Pretty
how
good
do you
cocktail.
have it without the glass?
You can put it in ceramic. You can put it in a box. You can put it in a bag.
Well, you can have it in a red Solo cup.
Red Solo cup. Let's fill it up. But according to Shawn Soole, you cannot have a cocktail without the ice. Yay! I'm sure you guys would all agree. All right, all right. All right, we need to ice to, of course, dilute a cocktail and to chill a cocktail. Make it nice and tasty. All right. Oh, Casey Wallen's coming in with his mixology stuff. Oh, we gotta be careful, eh? Let's keep moving on, all right? Move on to the next one. Question number 3. Freshly squeezed citrus juices begin to oxidize when? Freshly squeezed fruit juices begin to oxidize after 4 hours. After 4 hours of freezing. It oxidizes in the fruit. It oxidizes immediately after squeezing or begins to oxidize. Or 2 to 3 days after squeezing. So you'll have fresh juice for 2 to 3 days after squeezing it. So when does fresh juice begin to oxidize?
Casey says C, immediately after squeezing.
Casey Wallen in the house. Thanks for joining us here, Casey. We've had Casey here for like 3 hours now. It's been awesome.
He's such a good sport.
Yeah.
Rob
I got to
says
put my
C.
Casey Wallen shirt on.
Yeah. I don't have one.
Got a bunch of C's coming in.
John said C.
Dropping Rob C. John Moore joining us. Thanks, man. Spread some word. Spread some word.
C
All right.
final from Laura. Oh,
Laura's just trying to move the show along. Eh? She's like, you know what? I've had enough of this. Everybody knows it's C. C it is. Let's take a look. Boom. Immediately after freezing. Yes. It's squeezing, actually. It's immediately after squeezing.
Oh. Oops.
That was poor Allison trying to transcribe my chicken scratch, I'm sure. Good stuff. All right, let's move on to our next question.
All right. Oh, I gotta scoot over. Question number 4. Do not use ultra premium spirits if the drink is being made with blank. Do not use ultra premium spirits if the drink is being made with blank.
Ooh.
Either Angostura bitters, juices and cream, store-bought ice, or a blender. So don't use ultra premium spirits if the drink is being made with Angostura bitters, or if the drink is being made with juices and cream, or if the drink is being made with store-bought ice, or a blender.
All right. So according to Shawn Soole's book, what should you not use premium spirits for, or ultra premium spirits for?
Like, what does that mean? Don't put good stuff.
Yeah, like really
With these-
expensive, really expensive, good stuff.
with this crappy ingredient and or
Well,
method.
maybe not crappy. Maybe it's something that
John says
could change it. Could maybe make it so that you can't taste the high quality of those spirits. Where you could use a lesser quality spirit and still have a good quality cocktail.
so you don't want to waste your good stuff on.
I think that's what he's getting at. Yes. So you wouldn't want to take some Pappy.
Oh, Shawn said this is going to cause so many disagreements. You might be right, but that's good.
So many conversations. It starts conversations.
Casey says you should always use ultra premium. But
Well, I'll get to Casey in a moment. So let's see the answer here as we start the argument now. Juices and creams. I thought it was blender. I think it's blender. Oh, man.
one moment, please.
She's checking my chicken scratch. I believe it was blender. So D. Putting some Pappy in a blender would be not so good if you're trying to run your restaurant.
I'm not really sure where the rest of the questions are.
She can't find the questions. It's all good. It's all good.
Maybe because somebody used them as scratch paper.
Oh, that was me probably.
That's not the right one. It's here.
Everybody likes fact checking me. I love it. Here we go. La, la, la.
Well, let's see. I believe it says.
All right. Let's move on.
I believe it says juices and cream in bold.
All right.
So yeah, the secretary didn't get it wrong that time.
It's always my fault.
Oh,
Shawn?
everybody's talking about hate mail now. It's not that bad. It really isn't. It's okay.
Are we getting hate mail already?
I don't know. I missed some comments, but I just kind of jumped in.
Oh, okay.
Rob says he's guessing Shawn put C. Laura guessed B or D. Rob's sticking his tongue out at us because we're acting like idiots. Shawn Soole said in hate mail.
Oh, Shawn Soole's gonna get hate mail.
Oh, sorry. This is supposed to help, not hurt.
It is supposed to help, not hurt.
It's either or. Shawn said it's either or.
All right, let's move on.
Okay.
I think it's blenders. I would not put some Pappy in a blender.
It's not blenders.
Right.
It's juices and cream.
The Canadian province of British Columbia is how many times larger than the UK? I didn't know this one. I was quite surprised when I read this one. The Canadian province of British Columbia is how many times larger than the UK? Is it A, an absolute myth, or almost the same size? B, 2 times larger? C, 7 times larger? Or D, 10 times larger? How much larger than the UK is British Columbia? That's the one on the west. The westernmost province.
Oh, right, that one.
Yes. Of course, I think the Yukon Territories probably goes a little bit further western. But I'd have to see it again.
Laura says B.
Laura's in with a
John
B.
said 11.
11. Looks like John's got a drink with us. Thanks, John.
I'm going to be making things here in just a minute. Rob has no idea.
Rob has no idea where British Columbia is.
At least he's not
Yeah.
sticking his tongue out at us. That's okay.
Thanks, Rob.
Oh, Laura, of course, says got to be B final. Uh-oh, Ryan Edwards is
Here's-
chiming in.
Ryan Edwards, thank you very much for joining us, sir. Thank you very much.
He said D.
Ryan Edwards says D. Laura said B, final answer. Let's take a look here. And the answer is 7 times larger. British Columbia is 7 times larger than the UK.
So it was C. Oops.
Good. At least I got the A, B's, and C's right to this week. We're building up to January. Here we go.
Shawn Soole is a native of which country? I guessed this one right when I was writing it. Before I knew the answer. Is he a native of the UK, Australia, the US, or Ireland?
Shawn Soole. I wonder if Shawn will get this one right.
Oh.
They're responding to the last question.
I know, that's so messed up. Leftovers. Shawn Soole is a native of which country? UK, Australia, US, or Ireland? I guess I can't guess because I know what the answer is.
Well, yeah, we can't guess anymore. I met
Okay.
Shawn Soole in the mid-2000s, I think. Maybe 2000. I don't know. Shawn, when did we meet, man? That was a long time ago. Ryan. I knew his way figured.
Extreme.
Everybody's still going on about British Columbia. Like, holy crap, I had no idea.
Alright, Laura is guessing A.
Is Shawn Soole from the UK? Is Shawn Soole from Australia?
Tricky.
Or the US? Or Ireland? If only we could hear him.
Right.
I know he has an accent.
Yeah, that's what tipped me off. That's how I knew.
Right. So if we could hear him, maybe we could guess.
2007, New York City. You gave up your seat.
That's right. That's right. That's a fun story, actually, Shawn. I'm going to tell it while we're here. Every year we would go to New York for a bartending competition in New York. We had bartenders from all around the world come into this bartending competition. And Shawn Soole came once, and he was in a car. We used to go to Milk and Honey. Now, for those of you that are just joining in and don't know what Milk and Honey was Milk and Honey was one of the first speakeasies to start the movement back in the mid-2000s, 2007 there. So I think it came out in 2004, 2005. I'm not positive the
And
dates.
where was it?
In New York City. The front of the building was an old bicycle shop, and it was all beat up, and it looked like a rundown bicycle shop. You would never, ever knock on the door. But you knock on the door, ring the bell, whichever, and then you walk into, when you walk in the front door, there was black velvet. And for just a moment, you were in sudden black, just total darkness, and then you walked into the room. So it's like you traveled through time for a second.
That's cool.
Yeah, a very amazing place. I'd been there a couple of times. Shawn Soole wanted to go. I said, buddy, you get in the cab, you go. I'll catch up to you later. So that's how Shawn Soole and I met. So it was cool.
Fun.
Yeah. All right, let's see where Shawn Soole's from.
No more guesses. Since I'm getting ready to reveal the answer, I'm going to say I guessed Australia.
And you got
I was
it.
right.
Woo! Shawn Soole's from Australia.
Because of his accent.
And now he's writing books about Canada. All right, question number 7. Most house-made syrups have a shelf life of how many weeks? Most house-made. Of course, when my housemate makes it, it's a little different. We were rushing as always.
His handwriting is terrible.
Most house-made syrups last the law about this week.
I prefer the syrups that my housemates make. But
Oh, Shawn's like, you should Google all this to fact check yourself, man. That goes out to you, Allison. You have to fact check all my questions. Yeah.
I think I need to now. Well, yeah, then on top of the spelling and everything.
I'm just trying to get dressed up, go to my basement, and have a drink with all my friends.
I know. And then all the technical difficulties fall on my shoulders.
Oh, but you're so good at solving them.
Oh. Because I handle stress so well.
You do, and no one can ever see it on your face. 2 to 3 days, 1 week, 1 day or 2 to 4 days?
Anybody? Oh, Laura Smith says C.
There
1
we
day.
go. Laura thinks they last 1 day. The housemate syrups.
Housemate syrups.
Unlike Real syrups or Finest Call syrups that last 3 months unrefrigerated after opening.
I think any syrups that my housemates use would be those
Right.
because they last so long and they taste really good. Nobody.
Nobody's got this one.
Nobody.
Going down in history. What's the answer? Let's take a look.
2 to 4 weeks.
2 to 4 weeks. We've got housemate syrups. 2 to 4 weeks. Some people add vodka to those syrups as well, which prolongs it a little bit.
2 to 4 weeks is a long time.
That is a long time. Here I am in the book again.
Look.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Says it right there.
Right
You got
there,
that.
right there.
Yep. You put the asterisk right next to it. Alright. Oh. This was all set perfect, and then one plug got moved, and everything's 1 millimeter off, so I apologize. According to Shawn Soole, in the right hands, these tools can produce amazing cocktails. Shake tins. This one was extra chicken scratchy, so if these are wrong, I apologize. Is that first one right?
Shaker tins, yep. Yeah, they can make pretty amazing cocktails.
Milkshake spinners. I know what
Yeah.
those are. Keurig machines. I actually did spell check that one.
Nice.
Or a blender.
All of those can make really amazing cocktails, actually. But there was one in particular that he was, in the right hands, these tools can produce amazing cocktails.
And these tools, which tools of these make amazing cocktails?
So you wouldn't expect this tool to make amazing cocktails, but it does. Or old school bartenders would think, you can't make good cocktails with those. But in the right hands, you can.
Rob said B, and then he chimed back in and said D.
Yes.
John Moore says all but C.
All but C. He's right, actually. I have to say that. You know what? I've made some amazing cocktails with Keurig machines too. I have.
My guess would have been a Keurig machine.
If you take a syringe and you put Irish whiskey in the syringe and put it inside a Keurig cup and then make a Keurig, out comes your Irish coffee.
Genius.
I can't proofread anything, but
Right, but damn, you can make some good drinks. That's a pretty crazy idea there.
you don't have to be a master in order to make great cocktails with a milkshake spinner. All right, you can make great cocktails with a milkshake spinner.
I would love to have a milkshake.
And there's so many people that can make great cocktails with a shaker tin. All right, that's true. But in the right hands, it takes the right hands to make a great cocktail with a blender. We're going to have to start prepping these shows like weeks in advance.
Oh, I think that's the one. Remember, there was a couple that didn't have an answer at all.
Oh, right, because you put in the answer until you came back and asked me what the answer
Well,
was.
because I copied the page,
Oh,
so
shit.
it's the same as the one before. And
Can
then
we
when
just
you
put
gave
blender there? Can you
the
click
answer-
on it and make blender?
Yeah, hang on.
Sean pops in. He says, "I love blenders and slushy machines." I do too, Sean. And just to defend how I wrote the answer or wrote the question, I've been bartending for 30 years, and back in the day, I mean, you just dump a bunch of junk in a blender and then zip up a pina colada, and there wasn't a lot of time taken to make blender drinks. And as the community of bartenders started to grow and come in, blenders were kind of always the afterthought. And Sean's point in the book is that in the right hands, blender cocktails can be absolutely amazing, and that's the point of that question. So So let's have some fun with that. And just to qualify, syrups from his book. Most syrups have a shelf life of 2 to 4 weeks before they start to lose their flavor and turn.
That's right. That's what it said.
Yeah, it is, but you guys are all like, Dean messed it up again. So.
No, I think you're the one that said that can't be right.
All right, we're moving on. Just gonna keep rolling. Which of these is not a recommended style of shaking? Which of these is not a recommended style of shaking? The dry shake,
How'd I screw this one up?
the soft shake, the wet shake, or the hard shake? If you're shaking cocktails, what is not a recommended way of shaking cocktails?
I've heard the dry shake is definitely not a favorite at all.
The soft shake, the dry shake, the wet shake, or the hard shake?
Soft shake and the wet shake always seem to be favorites.
Unless you're like meeting someone for the first time. You know, you give them the hand. Of course, there's no handshakes anymore. It's all elbow bumps and fist bumps.
An air hug,
Yeah,
elbow.
something a little bit more sanitary, I suppose.
Ah, see? He's on the... Yeah, I got you.
Shawn says if you shake a cocktail more than twice, you're playing with it. Absolutely.
That's right.
I like playing with my cocktails. Whew, you got to say that last word fast. If you, no pausing.
Which is
All right.
not a recommended style. Anyone?
Where'd Laura go? I haven't heard from
We're
Laura.
not getting a bunch of like...
I missed my Laura. Where'd she
I
go?
know, she's... well...
Right.
That's it. Yeah, okay, thanks.
All right, here we go. Let's take a look. What is not a recommended style of shaking?
Oh.
2 to 4 weeks.
Oh, this is also
Right.
in the group of that should be the last one.
If you're shaking for 2 to 4 weeks, then there's something wrong.
You're not gonna
Absolutely.
It's not gonna be.
The
anything
final
but-
answer: the soft shake is not a recommended style of shaking.
Really?
Just a gentle shaking. No, you gotta shake those ice cubes. You gotta break them up. You gotta shake that drink awake, as they call it.
Well, and yeah, just start out with a bang, right?
You got it. Question number 10.
This style of shaking was made popular by Japanese bartenders. Hard point-to-point shake, vigorous shake plus shake, a double shake, or a dry side-by-side shake.
I should have put shake and shake baby or shake and bake baby.
Shake and bake.
Shake and bake baby.
Shake and bake, baby.
So which of these styles of shaking was made most popular by Japanese bartenders?
I wrote the answer to this, but I don't remember what it was.
Probably 2 to 4 weeks.
Oh, you're right. Duh. Everything's 2 to 4 weeks. Oh, John says A. Rob says A. Hard point-to-point shake. I don't even know what these are.
Point to point, I guess, would be from one end to the other of shaker tin to glass, or shaker tin to shaker tin. A vigorous shake and shake. That's a really vigorous shake and shake. I don't even know what that is. A double shake. Double shaking. Double shaking. Or a dry side to side shake. Side by side shake. Maybe there's 2 bartenders. Side by side. Hey, if I haven't given it away yet, let's take a look. Which one is the answer? The hard point-to-point shake.
Oh, everybody was right.
Yeah, they know what's going on.
Except nobody said final answer, so nobody gets credit for that one.
Right.
The house gets credit.
Laura's our final answer person. She helps keep us moving along.
I don't know where she went.
All right. I got to meet this person once. I was pretty thrilled about it. Of course, she thought I was some kind of weirdo.
No.
Caitlin Stewart of Vancouver became an international sensation by doing this. I just walked up and I'm like, hey, I wanted to say hi. I really appreciate what you do. And she's like, what? So anyway, what did Caitlin Stewart do to make her internationally famous? Was she the first for getting 1 million likes on her dog's Instagram page? Starring in a Netflix short series? Hey guys! Winning Diageo World Class in 2017? Or winning a Guinness World Record in 2017? Caitlin Stewart became famous, internationally a sensation. Yeah, there it is. Caitlin Stewart of Vancouver became an international sensation by doing this.
I'm going to say A.
She got a million likes on her dog's Instagram page.
Yes. I mean, that's how I would.
She starred in a Netflix short series.
That would have been my second guess.
Did she win Diageo World Class 2017? Did she win a Guinness World Record in 2017? Rob says C. Somebody drop us a final answer.
Nobody's guessing. It's okay. You can guess. I guessed. About the dogs. I like dogs.
All right, let's take a look. What did Caitlin Stewart of Vancouver do?
Oh, Laura said.
There's Laura. Hey, Laura. Winning Diageo World Class. This is one of the toughest bartending competitions in the entire world. Diageo has hosted it for, I think, 10 years now, if not a little bit longer. And Caitlin Stewart was the first Canadian to win it, the second female to win it. And we were also proud of her. Chris Cardone was competing against her, and he's a very dear friend of mine. He's actually going to be on the show in a few weeks, actually in January. But I was rooting for him, and then I saw that Caitlin was going and making a good run, for the win. So I was having to cheer her on too. All right, Caitlin Stewart, thank you very much. Here we go. Next question, number 12.
How many kilometers apart from each other are Calgary and Edmonton? Is it 165 kilometers? 246 kilometers, 308 kilometers, or 280 kilometers?
Shawn does a great job of talking about each one of the provinces, and he breaks down into chapters. Each one of the provinces talks a little bit about the province, and then moves on to meet the bartenders of the province and the great northern cocktails. And then each bartender not only shares some background and where they've been, but the bartender also shares with us their favorite cocktail. So it's a pretty cool book. He's got lots in there.
What's a kilometer?
Rob is our
he
friend
must be American.
American.
He's one of them Americans.
I was thinking of putting the numbers in miles for you, Rob.
Well, I could have done that too because my daughter is doing that in school right now.
Oh, that's great that they're teaching that in American school.
Yep, in the 5th grade.
All right, let's take a look. And the winning answer is 280 kilometers. And Red Deer, Alberta is right in the center of it.
And what?
Red Deer, another beautiful town. Hey, you should read about it in Great Northern Cocktails. Yeah. Here we go, question number 13. To experience Europe without leaving North America, you must visit which of these cities? Toronto, Quebec City, Halifax, or Montreal. To experience Europe, you have to travel to one of these cities. And I have done this before even knowing about it. And when I walked out onto the cobble streets into this old city that was built hundreds of years ago, I was absolutely amazed at how beautiful this city is. And I I really hope to go back to this city one day to get a real taste of Europe. A real taste of Europe, John Moore. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. All right. Is it Toronto, Quebec City, Halifax, or Montreal?
Laura said B final.
B final answer. Laura's dropping a final answer on us. At least Rob's paying attention today.
Yeah.
Rob was a great guest last week. That has been posted on Dean Serneels' YouTube channel. If you want to see what Rob's talking about, he actually shares how to interact with your guests and have them direct you on how to make a great cocktail for them with a taste access grid for you bartenders out there. Go check that out at deanserneels.com Dean Serneels on YouTube and watch Behind the Glass with Rob Husted or One Drink with Rob Husted. Q City, is that the hint? That's the hint, John Moore. Here we go. Laura dropped the final answer of B. Let's take a look.
Okay, where'd it go? There we go.
Quebec City. Quebec City is absolutely stunning. Please go there at some point in your life. If you're making a bucket list of places to travel to, put Quebec City on it.
Is that where people speak French?
Yes, they do speak French there. Yes, they do.
I thought so.
Yeah. Question number 14.
All right. This Quebec-based bartender got his start in flair and now runs Mixo Art Entertainment and the Lab. Mixo Art Entertainment and the Lab. Is it? Oh, I don't want to pronounce this wrong. Sandelcourt, Sandkirk, Andre Duncan, or Fabian
Millard.
Millard.
So it's Sam Delcourt or Sam Kirk. That's my bad. My bad.
Sam.
Yeah, she knew that they were French names, so I didn't put the M properly. It's Sam Delcourt, or Sam Kirk, or Andre Duncan, or Fabien Millard.
John Moore said he'll go to Quebec City for 2 to 4 weeks.
2 to 4 weeks, yeah. Well done, sir.
I like it.
I see what you did there.
My yard. I don't get it.
I don't know what my yard.
Oh, my yard. He's saying D.
Oh,
D.
Fabien Millard. You must know him. I guess I'm not saying his name properly. Fabien Maillard. I can hear it now. I know Fabien very well, and I can hear him pronouncing it or introducing himself.
That makes sense.
Yes, Fabien Maillard.
Final answer?
John Moore is going for Fabien Maillard. There it is, absolutely. I actually first met Fabien in Florida for Quest of the Best, I believe. And then we toured Montreal and did all kinds of bartending competitions throughout Canada. And Fabien was at many of them. Then he went on to be this epic mixologist and open up the lab. And still a dear friend. Thanks for being a question.
All right. Well, for number 15, we have a special guest.
What?
Yes. Somebody tuning in to ask the question for us.
Oh.
So I'm going to bring him in now.
So I've been fired. Here's our special guest.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Very good. Shawn Soole has joined us, ladies and gentlemen.
So, it's good. I wore a jacket because you always complain whenever I don't wear a jacket when I do these things. So I put a jacket over my T-shirt. And actually, speaking about Quebec, speaking about Montreal, I have a very massive fascination with Montreal. So this is actually a bar shirt from the cold room in Montreal. So I've been doing a thing where I'm buying bar shirts from bars all across Canada to wear on every Friday or Sunday. But I didn't want to.
Really cool.
I didn't want to offend you and not wear a jacket, so I put a jacket on. I'm not wearing pants, but you don't need to know that. As long as I got a jacket on, that's all I seem to. That keeps you happy. Everything else doesn't matter.
Am I really that offendable, huh? I didn't realize that. I offended you with your backdrop the other day, and now I'm offending you with not wearing a jacket.
Way to go.
Opinionated son of a bee down here.
That was a good question about Fabian though. Like that was a lot of people don't know him as a flair guy. Like we're old flair guys, so I get it. But Fabian is like old school, original OG Canadian flair guy.
Yeah. I was looking through the book when I was first trying to find questions, and I thought, gosh, I can't ask questions about all these mixologists and these guys in Red Deer, Alberta, and whatnot. Because the question would be so hard for anyone to truly answer,
Yeah.
You just don't have that in your, trivia is all about being able to go through your Rolodex and try to find the answer that you knew, right? But Fabian's a dear friend of mine, and I know he's old school. He's been around for a long, long time, so I was hoping that some people out there would recognize him. And, of course, that John Moore is saying, Fabian, my yard. Kind of worked.
I'm not good at French either. Australian's like French is very melodic and like an orchestra playing, and Australian is like two pots and some wooden spoons banging against each other. That's the difference in accents and like beautiful sounds that come out of people's mouths. Australia, no, not so much as French.
Well, French is the language of love, is it not? Or I guess that's Italy.
Spanish.
And Australian sounds like someone's doing mechanics in the garage.
Very cool. Shawn, great fun read, man. This is a great book. I've been, just reading through it more and more every week. That's what's one of the great things that being a YouTube guy has allowed me to do, is get into doing my research. Whether I get it all right or not, doesn't matter.
Yeah, if anyone's got any hate mail in regards to any of the questions this evening, you can get in contact with me on Instagram at Dean Serneels. So just go to Dean Serneels and just slide into the DMs about anything that was said today. I will answer straight away.
That's funny. Yeah. Go to Dean Serneels on Instagram.
Just slide
with all of your complaints about today's show.
No, I thank you so much for doing the book. This is my love letter to Canada. Obviously, I've been here for 14 years or so, and I really love Canada, and I think Canadian cocktail culture is one of the best in the world. So it's my love letter to all the bartenders that are in it. It's like 130, I think we've got 135, 140 bartenders from across Canada. The next edition, which is coming out next year, is going to be 250. So I'm adding another 100 and something bartenders to the book.
Will there be a chapter for expatriate bartenders from Canada?
I have contemplated, because there's some really big names like yourself, Sam Kasuga in New York. So she's at Dead Rabbit. Like, she's a huge bartender. There's Dinah Kissel. I think she's back in Canada right now, but she was at Savoy for a while. She moved to and worked in the Savoy. And so she was one of the first, like one of the only female bartenders that worked at the Savoy bar, the American bar in the Savoy, in like the span of 100 years. So there's been some fantastic
Nicole
peeps.
and Patsy Christie as well, and Shawn Soole's down here, and he was around here a few minutes ago.
So no, I think that there's some room for expat bartenders. There might be an age limit though, so I'll have to sort of figure out that one.
All right then. Allison's about to turn off your feed here. She quite likes the fact that I'm not as. Anyway, let's move on. I think, huh? All right, so. The great reason that we have Shawn Soole on the show today is not only to plug his book, and you know what? When you say this is your love letter to Canada, I think that's just absolutely amazing, and it should stop all of my hate mail should stop because he said he wrote a love letter to Canada. Great job, man! I love it. Shawn has our final question of the day. Question number 15 is brought to you by Shawn.
Okay, so this one's an interesting one because I never thought when I created this cocktail that it would become as famous as it is. So this last cocktail, this last question is, what is the most famous cocktail I've ever created? It's been showcased in Gary Reagan's Negroni book. It's been on liquor.com, and it continually keeps recirculating on Instagram every couple of weeks and asking me what it should be. So I can't even actually remember the choices I gave you. So my most famous cocktail is
Let's take a look at the question. There
the
it is.
Explorer, the Drunk Uncle, I Live in Vic West, or the Beeswax Old Fashioned.
The Beeswax Old Fashioned. The Explorer. Now, are all of these real cocktails, Shawn?
Legit cocktails that have been on my menus or are still on my menu to this very day.
Oh, very cool. And how many menus are you in charge of now?
Just the one right now, but this one's pretty important. This one's probably the most important one because this comes back to one of the questions you wanted me to ask, but I didn't. But these are the 4 cocktails that I would say are pretty popular that I've created. The beeswax. Oh, I shouldn't say anything about that one, but one of them has been just featured absolutely everywhere. I created in 2009. And for some reason, it's just followed me around. And as a cocktail bartender, you never use the same cocktail twice. But this one follows me everywhere and constantly gets put on menus.
Right. My chocolate old fashioned is the one cocktail that I've had in my pocket forever, and I still make on a regular basis.
100%.
Yeah. There's Allison throwing in her answers. John Moore is dropping in. Oh, please let it be the Drunk Uncle. Good stuff. Hey, let's take a look and see what is the most popular cocktail that Shawn Soole has ever created.
One more guess. All right.
The Drunk
You
Uncle.
are very correct.
Thank God we got that right.
It is a crazy one. Like just before I retook over Clive's, a kid in Portugal, in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, wrote an Instagram post in Portuguese and tagged the Drunk Uncle and tagged me. And I was like, man, this cocktail's been around for a decade. Like, I got to put this back on my menu. So I put it back on my menu at Clive's. It's still existing on the menu at Clive's. And the Drunk Uncle, I would say, is my most famous cocktail.
That's great. That's great. And it's still successful today.
Very much so. It just got named Liquor.com's top 20 Scotch cocktails you need to try.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
That's
weird.
really cool.
It's super weird.
That's really cool. Do we have the recipe up? I think we've got a slide for the recipe, or it got lost in the shuffle. All right. We had just like 10 minutes before we went live, we switched a camera around or something, and our software completely reorganized all of Allison's organization and a lot of her slides and stuff. So the Drunk Uncle, Shawn, can you share with us what is in the Drunk Uncle?
So it's super simple. It's basically a take on Boulevardier Old Pal, which are some of my favorite cocktails ever. So Isla Whiskey, Islay Whiskey, 1.5 ounces,
Right.
45 ml, metric, 3/4 of an ounce of China, and 3/4 of an ounce of Martini Bianco or a Bianco vermouth. Stir it, strain it, grapefruit twist. She's done.
And that's it. That's really cool. Yeah, that's an interesting recipe to be putting together with a Scotch cocktail. I'm gonna have to try that.
It just came to me.
Cool, and you've had great success with it. So that's awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Shawn Soole.
Thanks so much for having me, buddy.
Thank you for writing your love letter to Canada and allowing me to butcher some questions for us today. So all for our own entertainment, my own twisted entertainment, perhaps.
You're going to rewatch it for the next week and be happy.
was a great show. Thank you very much. Please put your hands together for Allison as well. Thanks for helping us out. Say goodbye to Shawn. Love you, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey guys, I'll see you soon.
All right. Cheers. That's Shawn Soole, and I am the drunken uncle. All right. That's Shawn Soole joining us. Great Northern Cocktails. Great cocktail book. It's a fabulous read with all kinds of really, really interesting and brand new cocktail ideas from bartenders across Canada. Shawn Soole helping us out tonight as our final answer was actually read by Shawn Soole. Please put your hands together for Allison helping us out. Where's Allison out there? Put a camera on my beautiful Allison. There she is. She worked so hard today. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how much effort she put in just trying to make this thing work. All right?
Thanks for the shout out, John.
Woo-hoo! Good stuff. Hey, thanks, guys. We'll see you guys. What is Shawn Soole's famous cocktail? I know what it is. It's the Drunk Uncle.
Hey, yay, just a recap. That's all that was.
Recap.
Just a recap.
Cool beans, man.
Okay.
All right, we're out of here. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for joining us, and join us on Wednesday for One Drink with Casey Wallen.
Casey Wallen.